Hey, this is Brandon Mullen. I'm running for Portland City Council here in District 3. This is our daughter Parker, and she's getting ready to go to bed, but I wanted to make a quick video about something that's important and timely. For those of you who know me, you know that I'm a huge Blazers fan. You can see the Blazers stuff behind me. I have been a fan since I was a kid. I go to games, I write about the Blazers, I edit stuff for Blazers Edge, I have a podcast about the Blazers and have for many years, and we're getting to a point where my fandom is being tested in a different way because there have been discussions and some legislative movement on public funding to make renovations at the Moda Center. And we all probably know that. A bill passed the Oregon legislature pretty recently that has committed the city of Portland and Multnomah County to some amount of money towards $600 million, I think it is. The state's part of it is being financed from deferring taxes from economic activity in and around the Moda Center. Don't need to go into details now, but to say, as it looks right now, it looks likely that the entirety of the $600 million will be publicly funded. The reason why I wanted to make this video was there is a story from Oregon Public Broadcasting, from OPB. Shout out to OPB, from Alex Zielinski, who's an excellent reporter. And as part of her reporting on this story, the title, if you Google it, is Trailblazers to Portland, Public Cash, quote, only solution for renovating Moda Center. In that story, I know, I can't believe it either. In this story, you have you have these lines. Quote, this is reporting from Alex Zielinski. Quote, at least 3 other city councilors told OPB that they have been told by Blazers representatives that their political career would suffer if they didn't agree to the deal. And when I read that line and the subsequent line, which was the kind of obvious, they're speaking under anonymity because they are fearful, my heart dropped when I read that line. And I know that none of us can be so naive as to think that the team isn't putting pressure, outside of public view on the state and the city and the county. We know that's happening. To see it reported, I'm going to be very careful with my qualifiers, but to see it reported that at least 3 of the 12 city councilors have been told by Blazers representatives that their political career would suffer if they didn't support this deal, it makes me sick. And I posted something on Blue Sky to the effect of like, yo, Portland, like this can't be how we do public-private partnerships. And a couple of people have been like, that's what they are. I understand that sentiment. Also, there are public-private partnerships which work out very well for the public. There is corporate philanthropy that will invest in a public asset, sometimes for naming rights, which can be whatever, and sometimes for not. There can be, operational deals or investments that without some public and some private support wouldn't happen otherwise. It really does depend on the deal. And what we're seeing with this Moda Center thing, it's not a partnership when you are, Parker agrees. It's not a partnership when you have one of the parties threatening the other. And particularly to threaten one's political career if you don't support this. Again, I'm not suggesting that this is unprecedented. It's not. I'm not saying this has never happened before. It has. I'm not saying that I was unaware that this is how kind of the backroom political dealings work. I have been in public service for long enough and have worked directly with a number of elected officials, enough of them to know, and been in the periphery as well to know that, yeah, of course this stuff happens. I get that. It doesn't make it any more acceptable. And this is where I would like to plant my flag. I would love to see Portland City Council acknowledge that this kind of tactic from large corporations to threaten let's say the livelihood and the political career of someone if they don't do what they want, that should not be acceptable. Now, there are, of course, rules around lobbying and rules around coercion It's quite likely that, as reported, this is perfectly legal. And I'm not suggesting that it's not legal. What I'm suggesting is that it's disgusting. What I'm suggesting is that this is not a partnership. And what I'm suggesting is that the public and our representatives ought to demand better from the team. And where I'm going with this, I guess, in the very end, and to wrap this up, because Parker, really, you're getting a little sleepy, which is understandable. The city of Portland has a chance to have a tiny bit of leverage over the team right in this moment where the legislature has passed a bill, Multnomah County is finding its funding, and the city will be finding its funding for its share of what will go towards the Moda Center. I have been insistent, and others have been insistent, that the city stand firm to make sure that the team is paying its fair share, or at the very minimum, that the team is giving up something, investing something to where this entirety of the $600 million does not have to be public. And that can take all sorts of shapes and forms. It could be in revenue sharing. It could be even in like a small way I can think of, and wouldn't be hopefully the only way, but a small way would be to have street pricing for the vendors at Moda Center, the same way as we do at Portland International Airport. There are lots of things that you can think of to make, the amount of money that Portland is going to invest to make sure that the public is being looked after in it. And Parker is as upset with this as I am. Again, I just want to repeat this line that councilors told OPB that Blazers representatives said that their political career would suffer if you didn't come along with us on this deal. I don't think it is a hot take to say that's not acceptable. That's really all I wanted to say. I appreciate you all. Glad that you got to see Parker, and maybe she'll make appearances in subsequent videos. But yeah, okay, thank you all. Until next time, see you later.